Welcome to the Vehicle City Sound Podcast. This is volume 2025, episode number 11. I am your host, C. Willie, joined tonight, as always, by the wonderful.
Porter P.
And we have a very, very special guest tonight. Darci Keyes is joining us from the Groves in Brooklyn, Michigan. And for those of you who don't know, you're going to find out now. Darci is the owner, promoter, chief cook, and bottle washer for the new Country Roads Music Festival, coming to us from the Groves in Brooklyn, Michigan. And as you can see over Darci's shoulder, in the shadow of Michigan International Speedway. Darci, this is wonderful. Welcome, and we're so pleased to have you here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So we've all of us who have been big Faster Horses fans the last several years, and Quarter Peep and I have been there 7 times. We were disappointed, obviously, when we heard the announcement this year, and Darci, you decided to step up. You, I guess, had this in mind for a while, but this Country Roads Music Festival happening July 18, 19, and 20 this summer. Tell us a little bit about how it all came about.
Yeah, for sure. So we bought this property just a little bit over 2 years ago in January. And we bought it because it's just a beautiful property to be able to do festivals and events at. And so we had planned, we had one festival last year, it was an electronic music festival. And then this year we were going to do a few small ones. And then next year really kind of get going. And this year and we had never planned to do a country one because of Faster Horses being here and being so popular. But when we got the news that day, we decided that it probably was a little bit of a blessing in disguise and would be a good opportunity to throw a bigger festival and capitalize on the popularity of country.
You bet. And you're bringing in, and we've talked about this, and we know we can't make any kind of an official announcement just yet because there's still some T's to be crossed and I's to be dotted. But you're bringing in a mix of some national acts, but a big focus on Michigan acts. Is that correct?
Yeah, so every night we'll have a national headliner, and we're also hoping every night to have a tribute band of a larger headliner that's someone that is out of our price range at this point. And then almost all of the other bands will be Michigan. So I would say 95% of the other bands will be from Michigan. We have one coming from Ohio, one coming from Maine, that are just really good bands that we couldn't pass up. But everyone else is pretty much really good Michigan bands. There are a lot of fantastic Michigan bands.
There's some amazing talent in this state, and I know you've got several that have appeared on our show. We're real excited about that. You've got, as you mentioned, some national acts coming in. What are you looking at as far as some of the details I know people are going to be asking? Because, the Faster Horses Festival was amazing. You're doing something on a little smaller scale with this, but it sounds like from the conversations that we've had off the air, you're really focusing on making this an affordable, fun, great vibe event.
Yeah. Yeah, so our plan is that tickets for the 3-day event will be probably just, at least the first tier tickets will be just a little bit under $200. And you don't have to stay here. You can stay or not. If you want to camp and you're just in a tent, that'll probably be under $100, and you can have up to 8 people on that site. RVs will be a little bit more expensive. And then we also have our electric campground. We'll have tents for rent, electric tent sites, and also some yurt sites. But in terms of the vibe, we're going to have our main stage, and the main stage will probably be kind of right out in this area across from the Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
And then this up here is kind of, that's going to be some tent and car camping. And then this here will be some RV camping. And then we have more sites on the other side of the main campground. But we'll have our main stage out here, and then we're going to have a lot of acoustic sets that'll take place in some wooded areas, and we're hoping to plant a wildflower field so that we can have some some acts be out there in the middle of the wildflowers and just have it be a really different event. And we're hoping that a few of the bands are actually going to film some of their upcoming music videos here so that people will get to watch that being done and maybe even be in it as an extra.
That's awesome. Let's go.
Well, and to give a little perspective for those folks who may, you're familiar with the track, you're familiar, you maybe have been in the area a bit. You're right next to what with the old Brooklyn Trails campground is right there, and then basically you're at the corner of US 12 and Brooklyn Road, correct?
Kind of. We're down maybe quarter of a mile because
okay.
So we're directly across from the start finish line.
Yeah, if you can see that tower that's over her shoulder there, that's the start finish for MIS.
Yep, we're backwards.
And that's so that's you get a good perspective where you are in relation to the racetrack there, so folks will understand that.
Yeah.
You had mentioned the vendor area there for the races. Yep. If you've ever been to the races and gone out into those vendor tents, that's where it is. So you understand that as well.
And faster horses would have been over on the other side of the speedway.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. So this is very convenient, very well placed. Your prices are amazing. I think that's going to be as appealing as anything else with this. You said, as we were talking earlier too, you got some general idea of how many folks you're expecting for this?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably end up hopefully a few thousand over 5, but not too much bigger than that because we do want it to be an intimate event. We want people to have room to spread out. We want people to really enjoy the atmosphere, so we don't want to make it be too big.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Comfortable. And, you talked about vendors. You're going to have food vendors there. Tell us a little bit about what you're expecting from that standpoint. Beyond the music, what else are you hoping to have there?
So obviously we're still pretty early in planning this, and the initial rush was on getting the artists so that we could get the tickets.
Yeah.
But we are planning to kind of do some cool things with food as well. Maybe have, maybe you guys could be a celebrity chef.
I've been known to cook up a pretty strong chili.
Yeah, there you go. So we're hoping to do some stuff, and again, all Michigan, like maybe a competition between some well-known Mexican restaurants in the Detroit area.
Oh, yeah.
The different types of coney dogs, and I do think on Saturday now, it might not be available to everybody. We probably will have a VIP option down the road or a food plan. We're looking at kind of one or the other, but I think we're going to spend the day cooking like whole pigs. Have a whole.
Oh my goodness. Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. And then at nighttime, a lot of our artists, so every artist pretty much that's on our main stage, and we'll talk about a few of them in a minute, but most of them have also agreed to do an acoustic set. Some of those will be in the woods. There's going to be an area where you can just go relax, even late at night. There'll be lights in there lighting up the inside, but so you can go hear them and just get out of the sun and relax and hear it from an acoustic side. So that will be a lot of fun, but also some of them will be doing fireside sets after the main stage is done, and you can go hang out around a campfire and hear music.
One of the great things about all of this, and the folks that you're talking about, a lot of independent artists that are going to be a part of this. This is the beauty of what we've learned, what we've seen, especially a lot of these Michigan artists. They're so accessible. And how nice will it be for your festival goers to have the opportunity to talk to these artists that they've just seen perform? And you mentioned, and let's talk about this a little. Are there some that you can let us know who they might be seeing on stage?
Yeah, so we have right now, I would say, about 12 Michigan bands that are actually signed. We have another 3 or 4 that are committed. We're not contractually bound quite yet, but should be in the next few days. So some of the names that people might know of the ones that are definitely signed, Louie Lee, who's amazing. Yep. High energy, really creative. Along those same lines, Ryan J.
Oh yeah, Ryan's great.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Ryan, there have been a few people, and if I could give shout outs to them as we go along, but Ryan J has been someone who just from day one has been, how can I help you? Um,
Yeah.
Oh,
and he got a lot of the other bands to reach out to me, as did Al Garcia,
Hmm.
who
oh yeah, Al.
what's his group? What's his Facebook group? Michigan
Michigan Country
Country
Entertainers.
Entertainment. Yep,
Yes.
or Entertainment maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Um, but a lot of the bands that are coming are his, and he helped. We probably had 10 bands signed in less than 10 days of doing this, because there are a lot of his bands or people that Ryan put me in touch with, and so we were able to really hit the road running with that. So that was amazing.
You bet. And you're talking to, and we won't break any names just yet, but you're talking to some major Nashville artists as well. We're looking forward to hearing about that when the ink is dry.
Yeah.
But boy, what a great situation to be able to see some of these folks that, we've had the opportunity to have them on our show. We know who some of these folks are that we're waiting for the ink to dry, and we're just as excited to be able to tell the folks. But what a great thing you're putting together.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're really going to try, like, a lot of our vendors are going to be local, hopefully Brooklyn shops. And there's something in this area called Taste of the Irish Hills, and there are 20 restaurants that are on it. And this last weekend, that was going on. So I tried to get to as many as I could and talk to the owners and see if they'd be interested in maybe helping to do some of the catering if we do a VIP, or how they would like to be involved, or just the local bakeries. And some of them said that they actually are not very hurt by faster horses going.
Oh,
Well, not
Yeah.
not that they dislike it, but that economically it won't impact them.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. We get
Because
that.
what happened is locals stayed home because they didn't want to deal with the people. So I think the same thing will happen here, in terms of people will stay on grounds for the full 3 days and not venture off. So we want to bring some of that Brooklyn, Michigan food to them here, since they won't be going out.
Yeah.
And there's a great a new candle shop in town, so having them come. So just a lot of stuff here that's cool for them. And I know we're gonna have a big cornhole tournament that'll probably span the whole 3 days. So it'll be a bracket, and you'll keep moving up.
We
So,
just lost Quarter Peep. She's going to be cornholing all weekend long now.
oh no.
Oh, right in
Well, and we're looking forward to some of the fun things that we're going to be able to do with you. Of course, you're going to, you
Yeah.
can count on Vehicle City Sound. We're going to be promoting this right up to, through, and after the festival. We have talked a little bit about a little preview that we're hoping to do. Now, you had mentioned, and I don't know that this is all completely finalized yet or not, but kind of the tradition at Faster Horses had been people would show up the day before, Thursday before the 3-day event. You're going to limit that a little bit. Is that correct?
Well, I think what's going to end up happening is that the people that are staying in the electric sites, we're going to get them in on Thursday and get them all settled, and then probably get our rustic RVs in, or at least most of those. Maybe not the least expensive option, because we kind of need to fill everybody else in before we figure out where to put them. But most of those people will come in Thursday, and then our cars and tents and the smaller RVs will probably not be able to come in until Friday morning.
Okay.
Which works out just fine.
Yeah, it's just a lot for us for this
Yeah.
first year, and that kind of cuts down a little bit on it lets us spread people out over 2 days and get them in, and hopefully be a little bit more efficient on getting them in.
Well, and for all you folks who are going to be coming on Friday, we have talked with Darci, and we're going to get there a day or two maybe early. And we're going to show you, as Darci so aptly put it, how the sausage is made. We're going to give you the behind the scenes of everything that's going on, all things Country Roads Music Festival. And that's going to go out on Thursday evening. So even improve your hype even a little more about getting ready to come out to the show on Friday. And we're certainly going to be touching on elements of this throughout the next couple of months leading up to July. I can't tell you how excited we are about all this, Darci, and we're really hoping we're able to assist you in getting those 5, 6, 7,000 folks out to a real music festival with real music and the artists that make it.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for the Michigan bands. Not all of them are going to make it onto the main stage, but we're trying to work it so that people that aren't on the main stage will maybe get to come up with someone else and do a duet or one song just to get experience being in front of that many thousands of people. So when we did the artist submission form, we asked them, how many people have you ever played before? And it's a very wide variety. Like, I forget who it was, but somebody was like 80,000 people. I forget what, something down in DC or something.
Oh, my.
But some people were like 100 people.
Yeah.
Like that's the most that they've, and they're fantastic, but they've just never, been in front of a big crowd.
Well, you mentioned Louie Lee, and one of my favorite quotes from Louie Lee said, "I don't care if it's 10 people, if it's 10,000 people, I'm putting on the same show. I'm coming with the same energy." And you're going to find that from these artists. They're grinding. They want to do this. And man, the lineup, we can't wait to be able to talk about the whole lineup. Yeah. You've got some amazing folks coming.
Yeah, a few other people that are already signed that are kind of getting hot in Nashville on a certain level would be Madison Olivia.
Oh, yeah.
If you know her, she's fantastic. Yep. Kay Harper, the Kay Harper Band is from right here in Napoleon. She's going to be here.
We love Kay.
Yep. Who are a few? Cooper Johnson, yes. Justin Judge. I'm going to forget people. Isaac Harper, Blake James. So these are all kind of the Michigan people. And then two of the people that we can hear. We're about to see some. Hold on.
We haven't even started the festival, and they're here already.
All week, I haven't heard anything.
Today.
So two of the bands that are Michigan bands that are phenomenal that are still in the process of signing are Family Tradition Band. So they're amazing. And Gasoline Gypsies, who are personally, I love, like, I've just been introduced to all of these bands. I've never heard any of them before, and I like all of them, but there's something about them. If you go to look at some of their videos, they're like standing in a creek.
Oh yeah, yeah.
with their drum set, and so
these folks are great. You've got some amazing artists. We're very excited to be a part of it. And we appreciate you reaching out to us as well. Vehicle City Sound is in your corner, and we will certainly be giving you all the props that we possibly can.
Amazing. It's going to be fun.
All right.
Now, where can they go and hopefully sometime this month to get the tickets and camping?
Yep. So we're doing the final touches on the website. So I'll try to make sure that that's up by Thursday. If not, you'll just get redirected to the Groves of Michigan website for right now. But that is countryroadsmusicfestival.com.
Okay.
And that page or that website will have a ticketing page on it, and you'll go there to get the tickets. But the tickets won't be on sale for next week at the earliest, I would say, because we need to get the artists announced, give people time to look at people will want to go once they're up and look at the frequently asked questions. So like one example of something that you'll see on there is that we're going to allow people to bring their own alcohol into the festival area.
Wow.
So we won't be spending $16 on a beer.
No, we're going to we'll have a beer tent, and it will be a local nonprofit. And they're probably going to be like $6 or $7 beers. So we'll have
Perfect.
it. You don't have to bring beer, but you also don't need to spend $15 a beer.
Exactly. So, and that, when you were talking about the prices for tickets and the prices for camping, that's a blessing to hear that, because it's, as much as we enjoy and had a great time at some of these larger festivals, it's getting priced out, and you're doing something that we can all afford.
One of our expectations with our food vendors will also be that, it has to be reasonably priced.
Yeah.
You're doing all the right things. You're doing all the right things.
And part of the reason for the alcohol, being able to take it in, if you notice here, I mean, this is where all the RVs are going to be. Right here. Here's where the stage is. So there's really no good way for us to prevent. You're basically camping in the festival area.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. That makes a lot of sense. It'd be difficult to police that and say, here's the line, you can't go past this. And
yeah, they're going to be right here. Here's where the stage is.
Yeah, I absolutely understand why you're doing that.
But one of the things will be that you won't be able to bring glass bottles.
Okay, that makes sense though. That absolutely does.
So all of that type of stuff will be in the FAQs. Other stuff that I know people will want to know is like, how big are the campsites? So the sites up here that are the tent and car, those are 30 by 30. So you'll have room for your car.
Oh, nice.
And then either a large tent or 2 smaller tents. And that's probably about what you can fit on that comfortably. And then the law in Michigan is no more than 8 people.
Okay.
I got you.
Yep. So all of that will be in these FAQs. People will want to know if there's a shuttle, but honestly, if you're back here, there's no need for a shuttle. So for the people up front, well, if we even have to move up there, like we'll pretty much sell this out before we'll move up to the other rustic stuff up front. And up, let's see, I forget which way I am, but up here at the top, there's kind of a flat area up there before you get to Brooklyn Trails. That will probably be even a little bit of RV camping, but more of like a family area. You're kind of starting to get away. You're not right here in the middle of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So.
All right. Darci Keyes joining us. It's countryroadsmusicfestival.com. That will be the website. We are recording this actually on March 10th. The show is going live March 13th. We're guessing, Darci, that probably no later than the 20th or so of March, everything will be up and running. Everything will be finalized. We'll be able to buy our tickets, do all of that at countryroadsmusicfestival.com. We appreciate you being a part of this. We want to do this several more times ahead of the festival. Maybe we could give a few updates in the next several weeks, couple months.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
And we'll definitely, I mean, we're more anxious to make artist announcements than the people are waiting for them. And I know people are being very patient. So I think as long as we have 1 or 2 of the 3 main headliners in the next week, we'll announce. And then we'll just have placeholders for the other ones.
Super. So you will hear about that here. You'll hear about that on all of the Vehicle City Sound social media. As soon as we have information from Darci and she says, yep, thumbs up, here you go. Yep. Let's talk about these folks. You're going to hear it here.
Yep.
All right. Darci Keyes, as I mentioned, owner, promoter, chief cook and bottle washer for the Country Roads Music Festival taking place July 18, 19, and 20 at the Groves in Brooklyn, Michigan. And as you can see, right across from MIS. Darci, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure.
All right. Quarter Peep, who's on the next show?
We have BlueSkye Riley.
Oh, we're looking forward to that as well. Darci, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Folks, please give us a listen, give us a like and a follow on all your favorite social media. All your favorite social media, but also on your podcast platforms and on YouTube. We thank Darci for joining us again. And as we have more information available about the Country Roads Music Festival, we're going to be all over it, and you're going to hear about it here first.
Awesome.
Thank you all, folks.
Hope to see you all this summer.
You will. All right, everybody. Be good.